welcome to yet another exciting episode of People and Power. If it's your first time watching or listening to this program, it's a program where I bring decision makers, change makers, leaders of our community. We talk about how we can live in a more prosperous and harmonious community. So today I'm joined by a student leader, a peer educator, and so much more. His name is Chrispin. Chrispin, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DJ Kid Classic.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty of our discussion, I want you to introduce yourself, let our listeners know who you are. So tell us a brief background of who Crispin is and what you do.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Kapepula Chrispin, and I'm a student at Technical and Vocational Teachers College. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in civic education. I'm a resident of Luansha, a young person who is passionate about politics and also peer education, and I'm also an SRH activist who is very passionate to realize that young people are able to enjoy their full reproductive health and their rights in order to make right and informed decisions. So that's who Crispin Kapepula is.
So now let's start with the work that you're doing with peer education. First of all, let's start with why did you choose to study civic education?
All right. I chose to study civic education because of the interest that I have in current affairs and also politics. I don't mean to say civic education is all about politics, but I just have that feeling about politics and what decisions that people make in terms of the governance system, because it is an interest that grew way back when I was at secondary school. I completed my grade 12 at Kapepula Boarding Secondary School, and from grade 11 to 12 I served as school council president, and I really wanted the knowledge of civic education to help me with my thinking skills and problem solving skills so that I can be able to help society in the near future. And when I went to TVTC, it is the first program that came into my mind, and I said I want to take up this program so that I can have vast knowledge about it and see how I can be able to articulate matters in society. So that's why I chose civic education.
You're not just a civic education student, you have also been in student leadership. From you earlier alluded to when you were in high school, you were in students' council, and in university, in college, you're also part of the student union.
Sure.
How has that been? How do you balance school and representing the student populace?
All right, so I forgot to mention this to my audience. I'm a former president of the Students' Union from TVTC, yeah?
How was that experience, being a student president?
Wow, that experience was awesome. It was awesome, but it came with a lot of pressures, because the time I went to TVTC in my first year, I was one of the, I don't know if it's first, I would say, in this era, to be a guy who stood as student union president in first year. I just reached college, and the first thing that came in my mind was I need to take up this role, because it remained as a challenge to me when I was at secondary school. I looked at my teachers. They were advising me to say, don't let this leadership just die from secondary school. Take it where you're going to university, to college, and ensure that you make a whole productive person out of yourself. So when I went to TVTC, my first thing that came into my mind was I wanted to see the betterment and well-being of students at the college. The way I was perceiving the livelihoods of us students at the college is not how everybody else was viewing it. So I brought in myself and said, I really want to be the change that the college has to see. I really want to impact change and be able to see that we live in a certain standards as young people, as students that are pursuing different programs at this college. So I stood in for that advocacy, and I received the support. Students voted for me, and I was able to balance with academics, because I'm somebody who is much in true respect in time management and accepting the fact that everything has got time. You need to understand this is time for school, this is time for your works, and this is time for extracurricular activities and the like. The experience was fun, though in life not everybody would like you.
Obviously, if everybody likes you, have a problem.
You have a problem, yeah. So I received some backlash from people, others supported, but at the end of the day I stood my ground because I know why I started that journey. Yeah.
That is interesting. Now, Crispin, One of the reasons why I brought you on the program is to discuss about the project that you're doing with UNESCO and the O3 Plus project.
Yeah.
Because in universities and in colleges, a lot of people are exposed. For most students, this is the first time they're getting the freedom. This is the first time they get to experience life away from home and the strict rules. So meaning they are at risk of finding themselves doing things that they're not supposed to do. So now I want us to focus more on the UNESCO O3 Plus project. What is that about? I want you to break it down so that people understand what you and the organization are doing in your school.
All right. So UNESCO as an organization is implementing a project known as the O3 Plus project, which is taking place or running in 12 institutions, tertiary and higher learning institutions in the country, and also some other tertiary and higher learning institutions in Zimbabwe. So in Zambia specifically, TVTC happens to be part of the beneficiaries of the project. And since the inception of the project in 2021, I was one of the luckiest students that were called to be part of the project in ensuring that it's implemented at our college. So UNESCO 3 Plus, the project simply aims or seeks to ensure that young people in tertiary and higher learning institutions realize positive health, gender equality outcomes, and also focus on retarding gender-based violence, unwanted pregnancies, STIs, and HIV as well. So that is their area of interest. As young people who are in tertiary and higher learning institutions, they want us to be able to make right and informed choices, right and informed decisions, because they realize, just like from the point you are from saying, if somebody completes grade 12, they go to university, they go to college, there's that freedom that they feel they have.
And most of the time, it's the first time
Exactly.
they're actually having that freedom to get to make your own decision. And you get to meet people that are not from your neighborhood, they're not from your high school, people who had different experiences.
True.
So now look at the O3 Plus project. Who is eligible? Who can become a member? Is it open for everyone, or there is a select people who are students that do that?
All right. So what the project coordinators do is that the program is open for all students at TVTC to be beneficiaries. But obviously, once a program comes on board, there should be people to spearhead it. Yeah, so because the program is mainly focused on information on sexual and reproductive health, and it's not everybody that might have that information on their fingertips.
Yeah.
So there is a technique that the project's coordinators have, which is training students into peer educators.
Okay.
Yes, so they involve the Ministry of Health, and they bring in experts that have got vast knowledge and experience about peer education. They train us a very tight workshop, and we get certified. And once we are fit for the task, then we become spearheaders of the project, and different outreach activities that are conducted at the college, every student becomes a beneficiary. So that at the end of the day, at the end of that, by the time I'm putting on my gown to say Crispin Kapepula is graduating with a bachelor's degree, I'm able to assess myself. Is this the way I came in college? Am I going in society as a dangerous human being, or am I more productive now as compared to how I was in first year? So that is what it is all about. So every student is a beneficiary.
What are some of the topics that you cover as a peer educator, and why are they particularly relevant for students?
Okay, topics are a lot, but let me mention a few.
Like the ones that you feel like these are relevant to people that are in tertiary education.
I will mention the first four prominent topics. Number one, STIs. Okay. Number two, gender-based violence. Number three, mental health. We can also bring in the aspect of HIV. So these topics, let me not also forget drug and substance abuse.
Yeah.
Yes, these
very rampant in schools.
Very much, very much. These are the most crucial topics that we face, because college is about, I'll give you an example. It's about your parents take you to the institution to grab that degree or that diploma.
Yeah.
But come on, the school administration only cares to give you that paper. However, you take care of yourself, they don't care.
They're not involved.
Yeah, they're not even involved.
Unless you go to Catholic school.
Exactly. They may have care, but it's not going to be compared to the care that your parents give you at home, because they treat us as adults, we know what we're doing. Somebody would come in and out of the college, go to nightclubs, what. So we feel we're too much exposed to the world. And these are the things that we should tackle. I believe when we talk of issues to do with GBV, almost 90% in colleges and universities are
this morning, sorry to catch you, this morning I was seeing on social media, somewhere in Patamanto last night, a girl was badly bruised by her boyfriend because they found her at a drinking place with another man. She was badly beaten. So I was thinking, like, in this modern day and age, people are still practicing gender-based violence in open.
It is real.
Is it common in schools? Do people actually, do you have victims of gender-based violence in institutions?
Yes, we do. That is the main reason why we keep on. Right now, we're actually in a gender-based violence campaign season. Yes, we're calling it Safer Campus Awareness. Yeah, we just launched it in Lusaka some weeks ago at the University of Zambia. So it's a national campaign where we're calling to a zero tolerance of gender-based violence, because we've got intimate partners. That's the truth that I can say.
You can't run away from that.
We can't run away from that. But how are you treating this human being? How are you treating somebody's daughter? And even vice versa. And I would like the audience to know that gender-based violence is not just about Chris trying to violate a girl or a lady. It can also be vice versa. We've seen guys that have been violated.
And sometimes gender-based violence is not just physical violence. Sometimes it can be emotional, it can be financial, it can be psychological, it can be sexual too.
True. So it's vast.
There are actually layers to this.
Exactly. True.
So now you've talked about those topics that the 5 major topics that you are trying to educate people in school about. What methods or approaches have you found most effective in connecting with your peers on these subjects?
All right, so we understand the fact that the first priority thing that we followed in tertiary institutions is to grab that degree or that diploma, yes. But the major challenge is, it's not a challenge. The major question is, how do we grab the attention of these students? How do we get to interact so that knowledge can be shared or disseminated? So we've got various methods that we use in trying to disseminate information. Number one, we use debate. Debate remains as a crucial technique in communicating to a larger audience on a particular thing. That is a fact that we can't run away from. So we've realized that debate is important, so we try to create topics on that are relevant to what we are trying to advocate for. Then we can see students come in. We make it a very interesting event. Students come, we share knowledge. At the end of the day, we want the message to be sent out. We also utilize issues to do activities such as quiz. Quiz is also one of a prominent technique that we can use to disseminate information. We also use activities such as door-to-door campaign, where we just go in as peer educators to have a one-on-one conversation with our students. Maybe in the evenings after everybody's out of class, they feel free to open up. Then we've also created a safe space where young people in these colleges and universities can be free to open up. An open space that I can tell you, that I can proudly testify that we have at TVTC is a youth-friendly corner. So when you visit the student center, we've got a corner where we just meet with students, we chat, we'll be playing chess and other games, but it is a space where we just want to be real.
You won't be judged. Nobody's going to judge you.
Nobody's going to judge you because we are trained to be confidential. So all those are techniques that we use. At times we also use drama, culture and poetry to disseminate information. So we just keep on rotating and rotating. At the end of the day, we want the message to reach at the fingertips of every student.
The other thing that like right now today, you've come to this platform to disseminate this information, meaning you are going to even reach people that are not in your institution. There are people who are not even students who this information can be valuable to. Why don't you guys start a podcast where you can, every week you discuss these issues?
That's true. I like that advice. That's true. You remind me of the words that our Kapepula minister told us at one of the conferences that we had at CBU, Michael Chilfias at the School of Medicine. That was this year in April. When he heard about our project, he came actually to support the project at the conference. Then he realized something that actually triggered my attention, that has actually been pushing me to say, let me not just focus about TVTC students, but I believe even in society, people really need this information.
Yeah.
So he came to a point where he said, we are doing this project in tertiary and higher learning institutions, but do you realize that we've got young people who are coming from primary, going to secondary school without access to information on sexual and reproductive health. The time we are accepting them in colleges, they're already destroyed. Their minds are already damaged.
Yeah,
so when I tell that person to say, don't abuse drugs, condomize, do this and that. Yeah, exactly. I like that statement. Yeah, so that is an eye-opener to say, can we try to bridge the knowledge gap? Yes, let's not just focus on that young person who is grabbing that paper at university.
Because when you look at issues like HIV, it will not, like if you are living a careless life, the virus, if you're exposing yourself, the virus will not wait until you're a student.
Exactly, yeah.
Even when you're in high school and sexually active and you've not been given the right training and you've not been offered the right information, even in high school, someone can get infected. Even in the community, someone can get infected. So I feel like the job that you guys are doing is an amazing job, but I feel like you need to do more.
Yeah, we really have to do more. There are just some certain factors that may determine the scope of our project. The scope of our project is mainly to benefit students in these tertiary institutions that have already signed that memorandum of understanding to implement the project.
Yeah, but I'm not saying like you as the people that are trained as peer educators, because as young people in our country, this is what we need to do. We are given platforms, but we should think outside the box.
True.
Like you're doing your thing look at what you're doing today. This is thinking outside the box. You do your stuff in school, you've come to our radio station to come and disseminate this information that even people out there who get to benefit. Though your primary focus should be among us as students, but this information is also needed.
Yeah, true. That is why currently I didn't want to disclose this. Personally, I took a step as a young person with the networks that I've gathered in Zambia, and also from the advice that we've gotten from outside people, where we were trying to run, we opened an organization known as Proactive Community Action, where we just want to take back to the community what they deserve. We want to take back to the community information on sexual and reproductive health, charity works, issues to do with climate change and the like. Because I feel, I always ask myself, are you always going to be a student at TVTC?
No.
It is, that's the answer. Are you still going to always be with UNESCO as a student? The answer is no. So we took a bold step with one of my mentors. His name is Wankumbu Simkonda, who had this idea to open an organization so that we can spearhead it as young people. And I was one of the people that were called and brought on board so that we try and help the community about it. So we're just building ourselves, and anytime from now, big works are coming, and I believe society is going to benefit a lot.
So now, when for other students that are in colleges that say, I'm going to join a FMA organization, why am I going to be wasting my time joining these groups? I've come for school. What are some of the benefits of being a student that is active, not just academically, but in these, like you are active in with UNESCO and the all?
I prefer to be called a brand. I learned something from one of the conferences I attended this year, whereby I was taught something very sensitive. I was taught to say, Chrispin, Kapepula, do you know that you yourself, you're a brand? You know that how you carry yourself and what you show to the world describes the kind of brand you are.
Yeah.
So I told myself, how do I brand myself? What I show you on social media is truly who I am. Yeah. And I need to show the world what I do, what is my area of interest. There are people that have approached me on social media just by viewing the works that I post, and they'll be like, you know what, where are you from? Are you from Luansh? I'm also from the Copper Belt. There's this. You tag along. Social media should be used correctly and for the right purpose. You're not going to find me posting useless stuff, things that are unproductive. What am I doing to the mindset of somebody who is watching out there, somebody who is reading my insults and unnecessary memes that don't even add any productivity to my life? So I believe young people should learn to brand themselves. branding is very important. If you've been applying for some international or even local conferences or any other engagement works, there's a point this time around where
you have to fill in your social media.
Exactly, that's what I was looking for. So they will look at it and be like, oh, this is the kind of person that wants to.
They will,
yeah. So people don't realize all that. You miss opportunities.
Carry yourself how you want to be taken.
And how you want to be addressed.
Yeah,
you can be a young person, but people respect you. They'll be like, this guy is self-determined.
Sometimes I forget, and I'll be moving around with my shorts and my vest, and people will call me, especially big people.
Okay.
You're a station manager, you're a CEO.
Yeah.
You can't be dressed like that. And I'm like, but it's old, but you know, I'm just like, no. Life had changed. Dress how you want to be addressed.
Exactly, yeah.
So now, Chris, we've talked about all this information, the positives, the pros, the negatives. For people that are not in TVTC, but they would want to be part of the O2 or maybe get the information.
Yeah.
Do you have a website? Is there a blog? How can people access this information?
Alright, so right now I would advise young people out there to look out for a mobile application that we launched.
Okay, what's the name of the app?
It's called the All New Mobile Application. OWNU.
OWNU.
Own. Yes, so own it.
Own yourself.
Own it.
Own yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy it as a young person. Enjoy it.
What type of information is on the app? Is it a paid app? Can you download it for free?
Yeah.
Is it on Android? Is it on iOS?
Exactly. So the Only Mobile application is available on Android and on iOS. It's with less bundles, I can say. Once you download the application, you just have to fill in your details, and if you're a student from TVTC, you just enter the details, Technical and Vocational Teachers College and everything. So once your profile is...
But what if you're not a student, but you also want to learn?
Okay, so there is a provision where it says if you don't appear on the institutions that the O3 Plus is implementing the project from, there's where you need to stipulate where it goes like others.
Okay.
Yeah, so meaning you just from
anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once you have access to that mobile application, it's going to provide different services to you. We've got online counseling services. In case you don't want to express your feelings to somebody who knows you, or you just don't want a physical meetup. Yes, online counseling services are there. We've got articles that are vast and detailed, articles on HIV, articles on STIs, financial management, and so on and so forth. So it is also an app that you can also use to engage with other young people. You can create friends from there, and it's interactive. I believe that can also be another alternative as we keep on brainstorming with other new tactics that we can bring on board to ensure that the community also benefits.
Crispin, we've been at it for a while, and our time is running out. So as we're coming to the end of the program, what are your concluding remarks?
Alright, so in conclusion, first and foremost, I would like to appreciate you, the station manager, inviting me at Afrozam Radio. I believe this is a rare opportunity, and I believe one or two people out there have learned one or two things which I don't take for granted. And I would like to encourage to the listeners that let's live a productive life. Our mental health is what is going to shape who we are supposed to be. Let us ensure that we open up if we have issues. Let us not resort to suicidal thoughts and the like. We can all combat all these challenges if we open up and realize who we are and the potential that we actually carry as young people in Zambia, because the country depends on us. Whatever wrong decisions we make, it is going to destroy the future of the country. So we're doing this for Mother Zambia and not just for TVTC. It is up to the next future generation to take it up. So let us just work in unity and ensure that we utilize our full potential that we have as young people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your inspiring journey as a peer educator. It's incredible to see how you are balancing your studies with impactful work both locally and internationally. Your dedication to creating awareness and fostering positive change is a true example for other young leaders. We wish you continued success with your work at TVTC, with UNESCO and beyond. Keep making the difference. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned to Afrozam Radio for more empowering conversation that keep you informed and inspired. Until the next time, remember that each of us can make an impact, big or small, right where we are. Stay blessed.
Thank you so much.